What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Optimized Essentials, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you the best foods to build your willpower and potentially self-discipline. Now, no, this is not a joke. Foods can build your willpower, and I'm going to share with you exactly how it does that and all the different micronutrients, macronutrients, and vitamins and minerals that you need to know and implement and incorporate into your diet to build a solid willpower. Why? Because guess what? Your brain, if you didn't know, is constructed of mainly fats, right? And also the cells in your body is constructed by the materials that you put into your body. So if you haven't seen my video on how to build willpower with food, you want to make sure you go check that out first and then go back to this one, because now I discuss with you the exact foods you want to be implementing, okay? All right, I share 5 things. They are kind of the categories of foods you want to be eating, and then within each category, I'll give you a breakdown of what each one of those entails, okay? So number 1, let's get right into it. Omega-3s and healthy fats, okay? Now, as I mentioned earlier, 60% of your brain is made of fat, and half of that is the omega-3 kind. Your brain uses omega-3s to build brain and nerve cells, and these fats are essential for learning and memory, okay? Now, if you didn't know, a lot of students or kids or children nowadays that are being born out of the womb have attention deficit disorder, have memory issues, have autism, right? A bunch of issues that we haven't seen. And why is that the case? It's because a lot of them are simply malnourished. A lot of them are simply underdeveloped, okay? That basically means they haven't been given the resources, the materials needed to construct their brain, right? The nerve cells, their skeleton, their body. I'm not afraid to mention this with you, but I almost grew up mutated because supposedly my mom didn't get her nutrients right? I grew with an extra thing coming out of my thumb, right? That is not normal, guys. I had to get that surgically removed. I don't remember it, obviously. But if any of you guys remember Barney, that was me. Okay, so the idea behind getting omega-3s and healthy fats in your diet is because your brain, right? Literally, the fatty tissue in your brain is constructed from that. But here's the thing. You can't just go out and eat low-quality pork. You can't just go out and eat low-quality animal products. You can't be going out and eating cheese and dairy and thinking that's high-quality fat. No. You want to eat high-quality animal resources, our animal organs, animal fats. There's high-quality saturated fats that you need to incorporate into your diet, such as wild fish. You know, there's mackerel, wild sockeye, salmon, coho salmon, king salmon, trout, cod, etc. You want to eat pasture-raised animals. Now, a little thing about wild fish, it's hard to say because depending on where they get the wild fish, it could be contaminated with heavy metals, it could be contaminated with pollutants. I really don't know, guys. I can only judge based off of how I feel after I eat it. So if I eat it and I feel like shit, then chances are that fish has been treated poorly, or it's not wild, or it has a bunch of contaminants, okay? Now, the best solution or the best way to go about this is to use your intuition, judge how it feels based on what you are going through, what you are experiencing after you eat it, okay? So typically, if you're in that country and you're fishing it wildly and it's out in the nature and it just feels right, then chances are that food is not contaminated. But it's hard to find in your local grocery market, so you're just gonna have to play it by ear, okay? And then number 2, pasture-raised animals, okay? There's a lot of controversy over whether or not free range is considered free range. So your best bet is to go with pasture-raised. Now that is top tier when it comes down to fuel, like gasoline, it's top tier. Some people might say that's too expensive. Some people might say that it is too much money and, they can't afford it. In the long run, that extra few dollars that you pay for your health shows up more in your energy levels. It shows up more in your body. It shows up more in all of the right things that you need it for. And that, in my opinion, inevitably equates to making more money. But that's just my opinion. That's my take as a health and fitness professional. I value my food. I value the highest quality that I can get. If you can't do it, if you really can't do it, the next step down is free range organic or just organic itself. And then anything below that, you're just putting low quality fuel in your body, and it's simply not worth that extra few bucks that you save. And you might as well just skip eating out at shitty restaurants and take that money and funnel it into some high quality pasture raised animals. Now, why is pasture raised important? Because if you think about it, an animal locked up inside of a large feeding hen or a hen house like chickens or a large feeding lot, those people are like the sick, stressed Americans sitting inside of a cubicle all day eating a bunch of Snicker bars, Cheetos, and garbage food, okay? Their fat is made up of low quality fat. Their muscles and tissues and ligaments are made up of low quality building material. When you put that into your body, if they were exposed to toxicity like the soy and corn that they feed that's often genetically modified and sprayed with pesticides and chemicals, when you put that into your body, you are absorbing the fat that is stored within the animal that is often the metabolic waste and the heavy metals and the pesticides and the chemicals that the animal couldn't digest, and it gets stored into its fat, and you are consuming that, okay? So when you're consuming a marbled steak that's not pasture raised or organic, you are consuming a bunch of nasty chemicals, okay? Now, is it gonna be 100% nasty chemicals? No, but there's definitely some dosages of nastiness in there, because when I eat conventionally raised animal products and I eat pasture raised organic or just like out in the open, and these farmers practice humane practices and they are actually roaming and eating grass and insects and are living out in the sun, when I eat those animal products, oh my God, I feel on another level, meaning my hormones, which is key when it comes down to regulating your mood, is on another level, okay? So pasture-raised animals, organ meats from pasture-raised animals, there's certain algae that if they're grown in the right environment will have certain omega-3s like ALA, that's good for your brain. Flax seeds, chia seeds, and pretty much nuts that weren't sprayed with pesticides like almonds, Brazil nuts, walnuts, pecans, macadamia nuts. All of these nuts have monosaturated fats and healthy fats that will supply your brain the adequate nutrient profile that it needs to be supercharged and functioning better. Okay, the idea behind supplying your brain and your body with high quality nutrients is it minimizes the stress, the oxidative stress that it goes through just by living in a toxic environment or in a stressful environment, meaning each time you are stressed, each time you have a stressor, your brain consumes glucose and also vitamins and minerals because it needs to process, it needs to work, it needs to operate, it needs fuel. But when you have low quality burning fuel, not only does that zap away at your resources, but that causes you to get all kinds of impulses, cravings, mood troubles because your brain isn't working properly. It's like, imagine it's like an engine. It's like a smooth engine is like, it makes a good noise. But when you have low quality fuel in your brain, it's like, you get what I'm saying? It's chaotic. Your brain and your body isn't in equilibrium state, or when your body doesn't have the resources, it's going to stress your mind out. The mind and the brain connected, or the mind and the body is connected, okay? Okay, number 2. Now, this is very similar to what I mentioned about pasture-raised animals, but now I mentioned eggs, okay? Pasture-raised eggs. Oh my God, pasture-raised eggs is like a godsend. Now, for those vegans out there, sucks to suck, but pasture-raised eggs, okay, eggs have choline, which is an important micronutrient that your body uses to create acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that helps regulate mood and memory. It also has good saturated fats, and it also is good in protein, which helps keep with satiety so that you are constantly supplied with a steady flow of nutrients. But here's the thing. Conventionally raised, commercially farmed eggs are garbage. Why? Because they feed the chickens garbage, right? They feed them soy, vegetarian feed, which is soy and corn. Soy and corn are the most heavily produced products that contain GMOs, pesticides, fertilizers, chemicals, and a bunch of stuff that causes the plant to be void of nutrients and allows it to be mass produced, okay? When they feed cheap, low quality stuff to your chicken, That's how they can produce so much fat chicken and also get them to grow so quickly. And also, I mean, that's not why corn and soy, I mean, it's a different breed of chicken, but corn and sorn is fed to them in the mass amounts because it's cheap to produce. But cheap food is not good food, okay? Cheap food is like low quality fuel for your high quality car. And when you're running low quality fuel in a high quality car, or at least you want a high quality car, it's eventually gonna break down your engines. And when you break down your engines, you don't have the willpower to make the decisions. Does it make sense? You simply can't because your brain and your body is stressed, okay? Think about this. There are stressors happening every day, and when your brain and your body aren't equipped with the resources, you simply aren't going to have the willpower, yet alone discipline to say no, okay? So that's number 2. Number 3, green leafy vegetables. Or just vegetables, vibrant vegetables in general. Now, leafy green vegetables such as kale, spinach, collards, and broccoli are rich in brain-healthy nutrients like vitamin K, lutein, folate, and beta-carotene. Research suggests that these plant-based foods may help slow cognitive decline. Now, you could research each one of these plants or ingredients or vitamins and minerals by itself, but I assure you, each one of these plants, each one of these nutrients has its own brain-boosting powers. Now, is one mineral or vitamin going to be superior than the other? Yes. Why? Because one of them are going to be designed for a different purpose. So one is specifically going to be better for your brain. Which one, I don't know. But if you look into it, I'm sure you'll find out. But here's the thing. It doesn't really matter. What the key is, you want to make sure you're getting a complete nutrient profile so that your brain and your body, so that your cells, your organs, and your tissues are operating at maximum capacity. And when your brain and your body are operating at maximum capacity, guess what happens? You are in a higher state of equilibrium and you have a clear sense of mind, right? More clarity of mind, clarity of purpose. You have stronger willpower and energy levels because your mind isn't all over the place. You're not getting mood cravings. You're not getting mood swings or food cravings and mood swings because you're at equilibrium. You're at whole. You're in peace, okay? And that comes from the chemicals that are being produced in your body, which are associated with the fats that you're eating and whether or not you're getting your green leafy vegetables, okay? Now, I'm going to recommend 3 of my favorite vegetables that I like to pair with eggs for the ultimate satiety that will keep you lasted for 3, 4, 5 hours straight, okay? It is beets, carrots, and cauliflower. Or not cauliflower, oops, wrong one. I mean, you can eat cauliflowers, but beets, carrots, and what are those? Oh, Brussels sprouts. Those 3 combos. Ooh, baby. Those are the most, at least in my experience, is very nutrient dense, okay? Super nutrient dense. Like if you hit a carrot on a table, that thing makes a thud. Same thing with the Brussels sprouts and same thing with the beet. That is nutrient dense foods. And when you combine this with eggs, which is a high quality fat, pasture-raised animal, also I want to mention the green leafy vegetables, they need to be organic, okay? Pesticides free. Man, I'm all over the place with my words. I got to slow down and articulate, okay? So ideally, get organic green leafy vegetables so that it's not sprayed with chemicals or it's minimal in chemicals and pesticides, so you can just wash them off and consume them with relatively low danger. Once you pair these green leafy vegetables with your pasture-raised eggs, let me know how you feel. Oh my God, you are going to be operating on a different level, especially if you eat it consistently, okay? It's not just once and done, it's eat it consistently. I'm not saying eat eggs and veggies all day long, but that's one of my super combos when I'm trying to produce, like film a video, when I'm trying to sustain quality feel throughout the day. I just hit me 3 colors, 3 different densities in vegetables, and then a high quality protein source. It doesn't have to be pasture raised eggs. It could be a wild filet salmon, or it could be a wild, turkey drumstick, or you get the idea. So number 4, fermented vegetables, okay? Now that we understand the power of green leafy vegetables, how about fermented vegetables, right? With organic vegetables. Why is this important? Because fermented vegetables often preserve and potentially even enhance the micronutrients and bioavailability of the plant itself. And it also has probiotics. Probiotics are good for your gut because in nowadays society, a lot of people have messed up guts. And when your gut is messed up, the gut and the brain are connected. So you can be damn sure that your brain is not going to be functioning properly when you have gut issues. So eating fermented vegetables with probiotics, or just having some sort of probiotic in general that is good, that is actually synergistic with your gut microbiome, that is going to help improve your mental clarity, your energy levels, and your immune system, so that your brain and your body are still, again, working at optimum capacity, okay? Optimized essentials, guys. And then one more thing about the fermented vegetables is that gut produces the most serotonin, which is a mood regulator and a sleep regulator, okay? When you have adequate serotonin levels, you are going to feel happy, you're going to feel at ease, and you're not going to be as tempted to make stupid decisions because you are simply at equilibrium and you're in a high state of vibration and you're like, bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. So you won't do stupid things, okay? And then number 5, superfoods and adaptogens, okay? Now, the reason why I included them both together is because superfoods, adaptogens, they kind of are considered superfood. The idea behind a superfood, it has a power punch of nutrients. And these are, spirulina, chlorella, wheatgrass, and adaptogens like schisandra berries, chaga mushrooms, reishi mushrooms, lion's mane, turkey tail. Those are known to be what is the word I'm looking for? Kind of like the neuro enhancers. It's neuro something. I forgot the exact terminology, but basically those are going to be brain boosters, okay? And then the superfoods themselves, they are packed with a power punch of nutrients. It has a complete nutritional profile so that it supercharges your body and also detoxifies it at the same time, so that your body is working at its optimum capacity. And when your body is working at its optimum capacity, you are simply just going to have the willpower and the discipline to say no to what you need to say no to, as opposed to always being pulled by your temptations, your desires, and your impulses, because your brain and your body is craving food because it is nutrient deprived, okay? So guys, I hope you enjoyed the 5 best things you can do, or the 5 best foods. I actually gave you a ton of categories, right? Healthy fats, pasture-raised or organic free-range eggs, green leafy vegetables, and the 3 top veggies that I chose is beets, carrots, and Brussels sprouts, and finally 2 more fermented vegetables and superfoods and adaptogens. You implement those 5 things, any one of those 5 things into your diet, you'll start to notice a change in your willpower, your mood, and just energy levels all around. And I promise you, your willpower and your self-discipline will be compounded. And if you want even more information, check out my next video on how to build your willpower or your self-discipline, how to really build your self-discipline. Because I understand, guys, I truly understand what not having discipline feels like. So if you want to watch that, make sure you click on the next one, and I'll see you there. Peace.